genuinely, it funds the tour, which is amazing. Wow. It just creates a really fun, the way we run, like my VIP or meet and greet or whatever you want to call it, is like very small, like max 50 people. And we're just like hanging out for an hour and like get to like actually spend time. Like it's not like like the reason we cap it is so that I can actually talk and like hang out with people. For me, at least, I feel like the people who come to the meet and greet at the beginning, like they're there early, we're hanging out, I do a little like acoustic set, we'll sing together, sometimes ask questions, get pictures, do the thing. And then it's like, then at the show, that's normally like the front couple rows are like those people who I already have been hanging out with for the past like hour or whatever. Cool. And there's always like a ridiculously cheesy speech I give of like, you guys are here, you set the vibes for everyone else coming, like make sure everyone is making friends, we're taking care of each other. And so it's just this like cute core group of people that set the fucking vibes for the night. And like, yeah, it's really fun. I think that's like one of my favorite parts of the tour. Because, you know, when I'm like opening, I go and hang out at merch after my set and like meet people. And that's always so chaotic. And you're like screaming, talking over the noise, and like, the VIP thing is just so intimate and just chill, which is really, really cool.
What's going on? Welcome to the New Music Business. I'm your host, Ari Herstand, author of How to Make It in the New Music Business, the book. The audiobook has actually just been released for the third edition. So if you've been patiently waiting for the audiobook for the third edition, it just was released. Go grab the audiobook if you like listening to my voice. You can listen to it for the next 17 hours or however long that thing is. Anyway, my guest today is the artist UPSAHL. UPSAHL is now based in LA, originally from Phoenix. She is a pop artist and she is also a pop songwriter. She's written for artists like Dua Lipa, Mike Shinoda, Anne Marie, Little Mix, Madison Beer, Gayle. So she is kind of equal parts session songwriter and touring artist. During this conversation, we talk about the process of doing these pop sessions with various people in the room, sometimes artists, sometimes producers, sometimes other writers. We talk about what it's like to be signed to a major label. She signed to a major when she was only 19, actually kind of pre-TikTok. And after that, she actually did have a song go crazy viral on TikTok. If you were on TikTok kind of towards the end of 2020, you might remember the song Drugs. I just came here for the drugs. That's her song. And it had millions of people making videos of that song on TikTok. It went nuts and now has over 120 million streams just on Spotify. I really appreciate the conversation today and UPSAHL's candor and transparency. She didn't shy away from any of the questions that I threw her way, especially later on when we got into how her major label deal came to be and was structured, also what it's like to be in the room, and the economics of touring. We actually spent quite a bit of time talking about the economics of being a touring artist playing small clubs, because that's what she does. She also has a VIP meet and greet program. We talk about the economics around that and the philosophy around that and how she structures them. Feels good about it. If you read my recent piece for Variety, kind of calling out Maddie Healy for chastising artists about running meet and greet VIP programs on tour, definitely want to listen to the bit that we discuss about VIP programs. You should definitely check out UPSAHL's new EP, Sagittarius. See her on tour. You can find her on all the socials, of course, and find all of us that make the show happen at Ari's Take. You can find me at Ari Herstand on all the socials, all of that stuff. Visit aristake.com. Get on the email list. That's where you're going to get the most up-to-date information about the new music business, and you'll be notified when new shows, new episodes come out. But right now, if you could just pause this and leave us a 5-star review, however you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, or give us hit that subscribe button on YouTube or Spotify or Apple, all of that stuff. If you want us to keep showing up in your feed, subscribe to us, leave that review. That really helps. All right, let's kick into the show. UPSAHL, welcome to the show.
Hello, thanks so much for having me.
Hello. Where are you based? Where are you coming to me from?
I'm in LA right now, over on the east side. Where are you?
I'm in Los Feliz, so we probably neighbors.
We totally are.
Probably could have done this at Intelligentsia or something, but
absolutely.
Either way. Yeah, staying dry, staying safe. It's absolutely bonkers here in LA. I don't know. We have the river that flows down the Hillhurst, which is just like constant stream these days. It's pretty nuts.
It's so crazy. I like love the rain, and so living in LA, we like never get rain. So right now, all the rain we're getting, I'm living for it. But I'm starting to kind of get sick of it. I'm ready to like go to the beach and shit. You know?
Yeah. You grew up in Phoenix, right?
Yeah, I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona, where it's like
not
desert,
much.
so hot.
Rain there either.
Very different. Yeah.
Right on. And so you have this new EP, Sagittarius, out. It's great. I've been playing. I've been spinning. It's awesome. I want to hear about the process. I'm looking through the credits. I lost track of how many people it took to put something together like this. And I know in the pop world, and you as a songwriter who have cuts on so many other people, I think I was looking at like your Spotify for Artists songwriter profile, and I think it said you have over 50 cuts with other artists and stuff. Yeah. So I'm curious about the process of putting this EP together. And then maybe contrast that a little bit to what it was like kind of being in sessions for yourself, putting, writing and producing songs that you knew were going to be on your EP versus popping into other people's sessions or just showing up to a blind session, and not really, knowing, maybe it's for you, for someone else, or knowing that it's going to be for someone else. Just kind of help educate me on this.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because when I got into songwriting, it was always just like, oh, I'm writing for myself. I'm going to put these songs out. And then I kind of got into writing for other people by accident when I wrote this song called Good in Bed for myself. And like, it just kind of sat in like a Dropbox folder forever, probably over like a year, I think. And then like Dua Lipa's team had heard it and they were like, we're going to put this on the Future Nostalgia album. And I was like, I'll believe it when I see it. I can't get my hopes up about this. But then when it happened, that sort of opened the door for me to like write for other artists. I was like, oh, I can kind of do this. If I can write
that
for
was
myself,
your first cut?
Yeah, that was like my first ever cut for someone else.
Your first cut was for Dua Lipa. Cool. On the totally massive record. Yeah.
It totally happened, like by accident. Like the producer, Lindgren, who produced and co-wrote it with us, sent it to his publisher, and that it all just sort of got, in the mix of songs for that album. And because of that, I was like, okay, maybe it's not as intimidating as I thought. Like if I can write for myself, I can write for other people.
And how did you feel about, sorry to interject, how did you feel about giving that song away, even though you were planning writing that for yourself and being, an artist at that point? You'd written tons of songs for yourself. I mean, I know they're not on Spotify anymore and they're not really public, but I know you'd released a few albums under your own name and just kind of like prior to everything else. How did that feel that first time of like, oh, wait a minute, I wrote this for me. I thought it was going to be my song, and then kind of giving it away essentially to someone else?
It was a trip at first. I was like, wait, do I actually want to put this song out now? Like maybe it is for me. But then once Dua hopped on it, did her thing to it, made it her own, I was like, oh shit, like that's how the song was supposed to be.
Cool.
And so now it's like this whole new kind of like, it's a completely different part of my brain and part of my like self that gets fulfilled having other artists cut songs of mine or like having other artists put out songs that we wrote together. Like it's so fulfilling in such a different way to watch, like to know that like as a writer, we've helped to get somebody else's message across. It's like, it's really, really fun. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit because when you're in a session, let's say with another artist and you're saying, like help getting their message across, do you approach the session differently than if you're in there as essentially the artist or writing for, you're actually anticipating this is going to be on your record? Definitely.
Yeah. I feel like it's two completely, that's why I feel so lucky that I get to do both. Cause whenever I get burnt out writing for myself and I'm like, I don't want to talk about me anymore, I get to go talk about other people with them. So it's like, when I go in as an artist, it's very much from like personal experience. So I'm like, okay, like what's going on in my life? Like, let me just like pour my heart out to these people really quick. And then when it's me being a writer for another artist, they're the ones that are like, this is what I'm going through. Like they're like reading through their journals and like telling me or whoever else is in the room like about the saga that is their life at the time, and we kind of write from that experience. And so it's very different, and it's honestly so nice to have the mixture of the two, because writing about yourself all the time gets so emotionally exhausting. So it's nice to like pull from other people's lives, you know.
Do you always have an artist either in the room that you're co-writing with, or who you're expecting, or I guess you're anticipating will cut the song, or is there a process where you just decide to write a song with somebody and then you hand it off to your publisher and they just kind of shop it around hoping to get it cut, and then it just ends up on a Dua Lipa record or whatever?
I mean, I think now we're like in most of my sessions, if it is for another artist, they're in the room, because I get to work with artists who are like incredible writers. So like they want to be there, and like they want to be writing, they want to be, you know, a part of the process from start to finish, which is really fun. But then there is that whole world of like a lot of songs that I write maybe for myself, kind of like what happened with Good in Bed. Like, oh, if I'm not planning on putting them out or it just doesn't really fit for me at the time, I'll send them to my publisher and be like, yo, like, who do we think for this? And then start pitching it around. But I think we're in a really cool time right now where like most artists want to be in the room for the whole process, which is really fun as a writer, and for me as an artist to get to just hang with other artists, and like, you know, we relate on such a different level, which is really cool. So yeah, it's been really fun.
How is the process of when you're actually in the room, in the session, kind of knowing your place, I guess? I mean, you know, some of these songs on your EP, for instance, I mean, like, let's see, Into My Body has 4 writers credited on there, 2 producers. Skin Crawl has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 writers, 2 producers. I mean, were all 6 of the people actually in the room for Skin Crawl, or like, how does this work?
Yeah, I mean, no, to answer your question. Yeah, I mean, for this project specifically, like my album before this, I kind of locked in with like a very tight-knit, like close crew, and they worked on the whole album.
Yeah.
But with Sagittarius, I was writing all of these songs like in between tours. So I would only be in LA for like a couple weeks at a time, and I would be like, give me as many fucking sessions as I can. Like I just want to get as many songs as possible. Gotcha. And then was on the road reworking the songs, rewriting them, figuring out like what producer friends of mine would work for which songs. And so that's why there's like multiple producers on songs. Like I would have Pete and Appy, my friend, hop on a lot of them.
And he was Captain on your last album too.
Yeah.
He produced a bunch. Yeah. There.
He's been great. He's been, we worked on a lot of stuff together and a lot of stuff for other artists together, which is cool. He's so talented. Cool. So whenever I'm like struggling with a song, I'm like, something about it like isn't clicking yet, it goes to him and he will like help figure it out.
Cool.
So yeah, it was very much a really cool, collaborative, kind of chaotic process of like, oh, we need a bridge. Who are we going to pull in to help write this? Or like, oh, we need extra production. Let's pull this person in. So it was very like, it was cool because I get to work with so many amazingly talented people. So it was cool kind of playing off of everyone's strengths to make the songs the best they could be. Yeah.
How do you approach that? In terms of like, okay, we need a bridge, you know, when I've been in little sessions with 1 or 2 other people or something like that, we'll just, you know, and we're not writing pop necessarily, but it's like, oh, we'll just finish the song. We'll get a bridge. Or like, oh, we can't come up with it today. Let's come back next week. Fresh ears. Let's figure this out, you know, but it's kind of like this challenge that we're like, oh, we're just going to do it. Like there's nobody else. It's just where, but it's an interesting process where you're just like, oh, we don't have a bridge. Let's just call up Johnny and like he's going to do the bridge for like, it's just a different headspace. Like I've never really approached songwriting that way. And I've never really, I'm just curious now how you approach that, where you're just like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to write the bridge. I've tried, but nah, it's going to, let's down the assembly line. Like, what is this?
I think it's like a mixture of sometimes just by chance, like the way the bridge of Skin Crawl happened, which is why there are 6 writers on it, was because I was working on the production with Captain Cuts, who did like additional production on it. And I was like in that session, just thinking we were going to work on production. And I was like, we kind of need a bridge. Should we write one really quick? And so that's how they were like, okay, word, like, yeah, let's write it in like 20 minutes. And then we got a
Got it.
bridge. That's how they're writers on the song. But I think what's really interesting that I've learned to, because I've always kind of been the same way where I'm like, this is my crew. We made the song. This is our song. We fuck everyone else.
Yeah.
But it's been really interesting to lean on like having so many people that I trust creatively and like having a fresh set of ears on something is like everything. And like for me, once I'm like in the room when the idea begins, it's so hard for me to like zoom out and like look at the song from like a fan perspective, I guess, or like
Yeah.
just a listener perspective. So whenever we do get stuck, it's always like, let's call up my friend Johnny Shore, let's call up Pete, or it's just like calling up people to see like what their take on it is. And sometimes they'll be like, yeah, I have nothing, or they'll have an amazing idea that changes the song completely. So it's definitely cool to like, I feel like I put so many hours in, so many sessions when I first moved to LA to just like meet people. And that was so exhausting socially. But now it's great because I have this network of like people and you're like, so-and-so's good at this. Like, let's call them. Like, it's really cool.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. When you moved to LA, when was that? And how old were you?
I was 19 and it was in 2018. Yeah, at the beginning of 2018.
And was this pre or post drugs? Was drugs already out?
Drugs was not out. I'd never been in a session in my life until I moved to LA. And I didn't even know that was like a world where people just were in sessions all day, every day.
Yeah.
So I just kind of got into that whatever machine of just doing a bunch of sessions and wrote drugs in one of those sessions. Yeah.
How do you move from Phoenix to LA and just get into a bunch of sessions? How does that happen? How does that work?
I had my management team in when I was still like in high school. I had met my managers, Joe and Ron, and
in Phoenix.
When they are based out of New York. They found me from like YouTube, basically, which is so funny. That was like such an era.
Yeah.
And met them, and I was like, "Yo, when are you guys gonna manage me?" They were like, "We basically are, but like before we're like officially manage you, like figure out what your vibe is, like start like trying some new writing, like different ways of writing, whatever." And so they've been with me since I was 17, basically. And then when I was like, "All right, cool," I went to like a performing arts school, so I like knew I wanted to go into music. And so once I decided like I'm not going to college, I want to move to LA, my managers helped me get meetings with publishers basically and just kind of shopped around. But all I really had was like my catalog from high school, which like wasn't that great. Obviously, It was like shit I was making as a kid. Yeah. And then I signed with UMPG and with
Universal
David
Music
Gray.
Publishing Group. Yeah.
Yeah. And he just started booking me in sessions. Probably had to beg everyone to work with me because I like had nothing out. Was just like so new, like the newest possible artist. And I think just like begged people to work with me, and people who were down did. And I just like kept learning from that. Cool. Yeah.
And in one of those sessions is when you wrote Drugs?
Yeah, I'd been working with this producer Kilogram for a second that was set up through my publisher. And he was like, "Yo, my friend Sean Kennedy is a really good writer. Like, do you care if he joins our next session?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course. Like, let's go." And Sean came in with the idea. I just came here to the party for the drugs. And since then, he's like my favorite writer. We make a bunch of shit together. But yeah, we wrote that song and it didn't do anything for like 2 years. And then TikTok happened and made it have another life, which was great.
Right, which we're seeing so frequently these days. I've had a few people on the show where that's been the trajectory. We had Ricky Montgomery on here he released an album completely independently in 2016, and then in 2020 or 2021, it just took 2 songs, completely took off. And then, he had 20 major label deals on the table that he could decide between. And it was like, this was a record that came out 5-6 years prior. And so we're seeing that happen. Did it just happen randomly? Did you kind of help that along? Like, tell me the story of how Drugs kind of took off on TikTok.
Yeah, I wish I could say I had a part in it, because if I did, then I would know like how to make my new music go viral on TikTok. Right. But no, it was just this like girl from like who had an account with like not that many. She was just making TikToks for fun. Yeah. And posted this like thing with this like effect and this like layered kind of dance trendy thing to my song. And that video went viral. And literally it was cool too because it was on my birthday, like of 2020. It
Nice.
like within 24 hours just like went. And it was the
Mm-hmm.
craziest thing because I didn't even notice because I really did have no part in it. It was just this
Mm-hmm.
girl that made it happen. And we didn't ask her. Like I don't know how it happened at all. So it was like so insane to watch it all just like continue to build and then be like, okay, what do I do now? Like how do I play a
Yeah.
role in this? This is my song, and like trying to
Yeah.
figure out how to get involved. And like it was cool too because that was during a time where TikTok was so new. It was during COVID. So like
Mm-hmm.
the the TikTok whatever virality also helped translate to streams and like people
Mm-hmm.
listening to my other music, which I feel really
Mm.
lucky for. But yeah, it was a trip. It's crazy. I feel like that's you kind of have no control some of the times,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. No, but you did a great job. I mean, I saw the video that you did of that using that filter, which was essentially
Mhm.
kind of like a visual echo, visual delay effect.
Right.
And it seems like like it was almost on the beat, like that effect happens as to like the beat of the song. And it's just like that filter became kind of the official filter of the song, or I should say the song
Mhm.
became the official song of that filter.
Yeah.
And so all of these, hundreds of millions at this point, I think of videos that were created by people with your song were using that filter. And so I saw like, you did the same and you kind of created,
Yeah.
the song to that filter. But I guess that's an interesting challenge because, we're in this era. There's always been one hit wonders throughout the history of the music industry. The difference now is just like we're like in the TikTok one hit wonder era, which we haven't figured out who's the one hit wonder yet. We'll figure that
Mhm.
out in 10 years when we look back.
Right.
But it's like I'm curious, because there are some artists that don't know how to capitalize on that and take a viral song and say, no, 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 this is us. Like, we're actually a
Mhm.
real artist. And then a lot of fans just like, oh, I like that one song I heard on TikTok or whatever. And they don't actually know there's a real artist behind it or who the artist is. I just had the Rare Occasions on, and their song Notion went crazy viral last year. And similarly, like, got millions and millions of people creating videos around the song. They jumped on that and
Mhm.
like said, we're the guys behind Notion, and then made a bunch of videos around that, built up this audience. Now they're touring. They signed to Elektra, got dropped by Elektra like a year later. Like, this is this
Wow.
crazy, chaotic era that we're in right now, where the labels are just like, you, nope, drop, 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 And
It's
so, like,
crazy.
I'm curious the process of just like when you see something going, you're like, wait a minute, I don't want me as the artist to get lost in this moment. Like, I want people to know, no, I'm the artist behind this song. Like, what is your approach with that?
It's definitely like honestly fucking terrifying. I feel like all
Yeah.
artists feel that right now. It's like, okay, you have the viral moment and of course that's like the literal dream right now. But then
Yeah.
that comes with its own set of challenges of like the song, you don't want the song to be like bigger than you. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because then it's like, how do you
Yes.
continue to release music after that? Um, I think like for me, I had done some like touring, which was cool. So I had like a tiny, teeny little fan base like before that, which was cool. And I think they help to push drugs along and be like,
Mm,
oh, like this is UPSAHL who is behind that song because I had
yes.
them already, which I'm very grateful for. And I think, yeah, like even like still years later, I get comments and they're like, you're like milking this fucking song for all it's worth. And I'm like, yeah, like that's, I have to. I feel like I'm still making videos of like,
Yeah.
you might know me from this song, Drugs. Here's my new song. It's like,
Yeah.
that's kind of how people's brains work now. And I think even as a fan, and you might feel the same way too, like I love albums and I still listen to albums and I have artists who I love, but like
Hmm.
there are so many songs that I love. And half the time I'm like, wait, I just know that from TikTok. Like, who's the artist? I don't even know what the
Yeah.
verse sounds like. Like, I only know the hook. And so it's like
Yeah.
if we're like music lovers are also
Hmm.
consuming music that way, it's like trying to figure out from the other side now being the artist, like how do we like connect the dots and make it as easy for people as possible to like connect you to your music, you know?
I mean, yeah, that is the $1 million question. I think everyone's trying to figure out. No one has necessarily cracked that. But you know, we've seen this throughout history. I mean, it was kind of like, it's like, oh, I know that one song from the radio that I listened to or whatever. He's like, oh yeah, I know, you know, that one video from MTV, and you just kind of keep going. Or I know that one song from that playlist that like 5 years ago of like, you know, that I listened to. And so it's always kind of been there. And now it's just, oh, I know that one song from TikTok. And so, but I think it's the artists that, you know, work to kind of build that foundation are the ones that last. And the fact that you even had a little fan base at the time that helped propel it, I mean, that's so huge. And it's just like, I think the artists that get lost in this and don't know how to grab onto a viral moment are the ones that haven't laid the foundation necessarily. And so like, you've done all this work behind the scenes, fan building, I mean, playing probably hundreds of shows before you kind of even like had quote unquote like a name, even like the UPSAHL name, and released a bunch of records. And so you kind of had that foundation laid. And so then when things start to catch here or there, your fans can kind of jump on it and be like, oh, no. They knew the work for you. Like, this is UPSAHL. She's dope. I saw her, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Totally. So let's talk touring a little bit, because, I mean, you've played a ton of shows. I saw, you know, you've released a live album. You have footage, like great footage from the Roxy that I was watching one of those performances, which is so cool. I guess in this whole process, like, how do you approach touring as UPSAHL and performing as UPSAHL versus kind of as the songwriter artist in the studio? They gotta be, I mean, it's gotta be, you know, it's two ends of the spectrum for you of just like being, you know, in a room with a couple other people and working out these songs and then working on this for a while, and then just being on massive tours that take forever, that like, you know, you were on tour, I guess you said for like 6 months at one point. I mean, like, how do you approach touring these days?
I think it's like it's so nice because it's similarly to just like writing for myself and other artists. Whenever I get burnt out doing writing, I get to go on tour and vice versa, which is amazing. Yeah. But I think like the writing process is obviously like so like vulnerable, and I'm like, okay, what do I want to say? Like, how do I get my message across, be as personal as possible, and like working through that process. And then the second the songs come out, it sort of feels like you're like letting go of that now. It's like the song is kind of no longer yours. It's like the fans' song. Yeah. Like they get to make it whatever they want. So then it makes the touring so fun because the songs are theirs at that point, and like I'm just there to like rage and put on a good show and like cool. Have a good ass time. So like, yeah, the touring for me has always been amazing, but it wasn't really until like the end of last year I did my first headlining tour in a bunch of little like shitty clubs, and it was like the most like fun I've ever had in my life. It was so fun. I could like live out of a suitcase forever. But yeah, it's really cool too. It's like, especially when you're like making these songs with your friends, and then your friends who you made the songs with are like at the show at the Roxy, and everyone's like screaming the words. It's like so magical. It's really, really cool.
So let's talk. We are on the New Music Business podcast, emphasis on business. So yes. I want to dig into the business a little bit. You're touring what you said as kind of shitty little clubs. You know, how do the economics work around that in terms of like, you know, what is your entourage? What was your entourage for that tour? And like, how do you make sure, or can you even make sure that it is like a profitable tour at that level?
Yeah, I mean, I've been opening for people for a while, and that almost always is not profitable. Like, I'm so glad if I break even, which is why being signed to a label is like, I would not be able to have done all of those opening tours without my label.
They give you tour support?
Right, like tour support is like everything. So I'm so grateful for that, because I got to get so many like opening tours under my belt before I did my headlining run. And like a lot of my fans who bought shows for my headlining tour found me because of opening for those other artists, which was amazing. So So getting to do that was amazing. Now getting to do like headlining runs, like you profit off of merch and like you're obviously getting paid more to play the show because you're headlining, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But I keep it like very low key. We're in like a little Sprinter van, and I bring my tour manager who also does front of house. I bring a lighting person
Nice.
who sets up all the lights and runs them all himself, just one person. And then I have my drummer, my guitar player. I bring my little sister who sells merch and is my
Nice.
paid emotional support, and then my
Hell yeah.
photographer. So there's
Cool.
like 7 of us, which is great. But yeah, we're squeezing in a little van. Me, my photographer, and my sister share a bed every night. Like we're roughing it in our own like fun way.
Sure.
So yeah, it's cool. I mean, I think yeah, one day would be a dream to be like, I'm gonna go on tour and stay in bomb ass hotels and be in
Yeah.
the tour bus. But right now I'm just like living for it. It's so much fun.
It's great. No, it's great. And it's I mean, it points out I'm interested to hear how you decided on that entourage. Like bringing an LD, a lighting director, a designer, like that for many artists don't come until you're at maybe the theater level or something. And if you're playing little clubs, like you decided to bring that. Also a photographer. I mean, that seems almost like a luxury that's their only job. Oftentimes, you know, the TM will double as that, or the drummer will double it, or you know, everyone's wearing multiple hats. So how did you decide, you know, who the people and what their roles are going to be to bring on the road?
I mean, for a while, I was just tour managing myself. Like my manager would advance my shows, and then I would kind of do the tour managing shit, which was a nightmare because I'm not a very organized person. So that was just like not for me. And so my front of house, Jimmy, like towards the end of like the last tour where I was tour managing, was like, Tay, like I'm gonna help you out a bit. So he kind of took on that role, and he had never tour managed before, but just kind of being on our tour started to know what it took. And so then he does both, which is nice. So you can combine like 2 of those jobs into one person, one body. I brought on Kyle, my LD, just for my headlining run because I wanted to make the show like as dope as possible, even though it was like in smaller venues. And so he's amazing and is just like hustles so hard and is able to somehow run this whole light show by himself. My photographer, Aubrey, has been with me for a minute, just shooting for like press and music videos, whatever, like everything. And so she has been so gracious, just like helping me out with like rates and like not, you know, charging her normal rate for me. Like she's just been like such a dream. Bringing my sister is great because we share a bed. Like it's just like little different ways where like we're all friends, like in a team together. Like I'm so grateful to have people who like aren't like charging me $1 million to come on tour with me. You know, it's like finding those people that are just like down for the ride. That is everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
So this next tour that you have coming up in April and May, I see you're doing some dates, kind of Midwest, East Coast, and then you head over to Europe. What's the entourage for that, and what kind of rooms are you playing for that?
It's gonna be the same crew, which is gonna be really fun. And it's similar rooms. So we're basically hitting all the spots we didn't hit on my last headlining run, which I'm really stoked for. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Some cities I've never played actually, which is gonna be sick. And then we head over to Europe for some festivals, which is gonna be chaotic and a shit show, I'm sure. But I'm very excited. Yeah.
Nice. Very cool. So I want to jump in a little bit to kind of, as we're on this like business kick a little bit. So you've been with Arista now for what, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, 4 years. Yeah, almost 5. Yeah, crazy.
Which in this day and age, I mean, you're an elder then at that point. I mean, like, like how many artists that we're seeing that have been signed in the last like 4 or 5 years have actually stayed with that label that long? You know, I'm curious, kind of, just the relationship. I think, did I read somewhere that you were the first artist signed to Arista when they really relaunched? Yeah.
It was fun. It was very like written in the stars type crazy thing where like the A&R that I was, when I was signing publishing or taking publishing meetings or whatever, I had met with this guy, Evan Lipschitz, and at Warner Chapel at the time. I was like, I really fuck with this guy, but I got in crazy. I was fine, but I got in a crazy car accident on my way to meet with him. So I was like, that's a sign. Like, I'm gonna go with Universal. And
Gotta,
then literally like a few months later, David Massey, who is the
runs
president of
Arista.
Arista, was like, hey, like I'd met him when he was at Island, but he's like, hey, I'm relaunching Arista. This guy named Evan's gonna be doing A&R. I was like, Evan fucking Lipschitz. Like I loved him. Like and so then he was my A&R, and it just like all worked out so perfectly. I got
Yeah.
to be the first signing. So it was a very unique experience at first because it felt like I was signed to like an indie label because even though it was a major, because they were just starting and we kind of got to like figure it out together, which was really cool. Yeah, it's been a journey. I also just feel grateful because at the time, like artists at that level aren't getting deals anymore. Like I was one of the last.
Yeah.
I feel like that was the last sort of era of like proper artist development deals that
Because
were
this was pre drugs going viral on TikTok.
pre like pretty much everything. I had like three songs out. Yeah.
Wow.
So like I'm so grateful that I signed when I did because it's been a proper and still like artist development. Like they're like in it with me. Despite whatever's going on in the TikTok marketing world. Like it's felt very like we're a team, like building this, doing the slow burn, like touring as much as we can, putting out the right songs, doing great visuals, like just like they're in it with me, which is I feel like rare now. If I were in that same place I was 5 years ago now, I don't think I would have gotten that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, it is rare. And I'm curious, like, you know, you're still in the deal. So I understand, you know, it's working in some capacity enough for both of you to feel good about this. But like, yeah, you only had 3 songs out. You weren't like necessarily proven, I guess, as an artist. It's surprising because we so rarely hear about labels, especially majors, taking chances on unproven artists. I mean, granted, you had some. Did you have that Dua Lipa cut?
No,
already?
not yet. Nothing. Yeah.
So like, how does that happen? Because it's just, we don't like, I never hear about labels taking chances. So what did it for them? Like, why was it just like, other than your natural charm and brilliance, of course, I know.
Of course. I'm just kidding.
But I mean, like, you know, it's just like from a business perspective, that's just not done in this day and age. Like there is virtually no artist development anymore. It's kind of like they want to grab you when you're already have done it all yourself. And like, so was it, you know, was it like a deal that you looking back, like, was it a 360 deal that you're like, you know what, maybe we're going to try to renegotiate that in a little bit? Or was it something that was just like, you know what, I wanted to just take it because I figured this was the best thing I could do right now, and you didn't have other offers on the table? Or like, I'm curious the mindset that you were in at this point, granted when you were 19, 20, you know, and you didn't know as much, and just in like, you know, hindsight, tell me about that process and kind of what you think about it now.
I literally didn't know shit. I had to have my lawyer like talk me through this whole deal. And it's a proper like deal. I would have like a bunch of options and it's the whole thing.
Yes.
And at the time I was like, I literally don't give a fuck. Like sign, I want to be like an artist. I want to go on tour. I want to put out songs. Like I want to just whatever it takes, like full send. I'll deal with the repercussions later. And luckily there haven't been any crazy like it's just been so nice. And still like I'm at a point where like sure, like Drugs had her moment. I had a song People I Don't Like have a little bit of a moment on TikTok, but I'm still like building and learning, and like to have them in today's age still be down to do that with me is like such a dream. And like I do not take it for granted. I feel so lucky because like like people are not getting artist development deals anymore, like at all. I came in like at the last second and just like somehow got that.
Well, and I feel like, you know, you're lucky in the sense that it worked out, or it's working out, I should say. You know, we see like, you know, Megan Thee Stallion one could argue it worked out for her too, but she's been in endless lawsuits against that early, her label, and then, the early production company and all, like, so I would imagine she probably would say the same thing. I just signed. I just wanted to be an artist. I didn't know anything. And then it came back around to bite her in the ass years later when she learned, oh, what did I sign? Holy shit, this is really, really bad for me. So it's like a cautionary tale. Fortunately, I mean, that speaks, a lot to David Massey and Arista and the team there, just like to not kind of take advantage of the artists and like throw shitty deals at them and say like, wow, they're not going to know any better. They're going to sign and I'm going to get, like they use, like that's been happening for decades in the industry, and like fortunately all the majors have, just within the last few years, attempted to right their historical sins, their historical wrongs, by essentially wiping out all of the debt. I don't know if you heard about this, from all the artists that signed to their labels prior to the year 2000. Because
that's incredible. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so because so few artists were recouping the costs, just recouping, period, because of the major label accounting trickery, which was essentially just theft. It was the books. I mean, if you ever see an audit or an audit of a major label back in the day, I mean, there was this like the CEO would take a private jet to go see their artist halfway around the world, and that would get charged to the artist's expense account. Oh yeah, it's like of course they're not recouping shit, So like that was kind of this old boys club that existed, for decades, and like artists years later now is coming out or realize like, man, we got completely fucked. Like we got taken advantage of. And then now all the people at the majors like, yeah, our bosses fucked you. Sorry. Like that was really, really bad. And like, there's all of these racial undertones too, just like blatant racism that was happening. And like, I think, and this really started to come to light in 2020, with the racial reckoning that we were going through as a country as well. And, props to, the Black Music Action Coalition and everybody else to kind of put pressure on the majors to be like, yo, like, yeah, you fucked everybody, but like really you fucked the Black community the most, and with these deals. And so fortunately, a lot of the labels have started to right those historical wrongs. And
it's amazing.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, learn from this, as in just like moving forward, like, you know what? It's not a good look for us to continue to fuck artists. Like, one, it's not good business because they could just go release the music on their own. And the indie music, especially now. And like, the report just came out that in 2022, independent artists and self-distributed artists held 35% of the global recorded music market. 35%. That's like of all the money that was made in recorded music, 35% of that money went to indies.
That's incredible.
So, like,
wow.
Amazing.
I did not know that. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, if you think of all the power that the majors have and are like, all the money, they're looking at those numbers are like, holy shit, like they're on our tails. Like we better like,
get
it together. So, all that being said, it's nice to hear from an artist signed to a major that's like, it's rolling. They're happy in their deal. It's going well. And it's nice to hear that there are good people at majors these days that are kind of taking care of their artists in that capacity.
I think it's also too just having like, if you have at least one person on your team that like my manager, Joe, like literally trust the dude with my life. It's like, if you have one person that you're like, you got my back, like I trust whatever we're doing, like we're going in this together, like, and he's so experienced and worked at a major and has like done the thing. Like if you have your one person that you're like, all right, we're in this, I trust you, like, and they're not going to let you get fucked over, like that is everything too. So I think finding that person for me has been everything for sure.
Huge. No, I mean, absolutely. And it is a testament to your management, and that Joe will go to bat for you and make sure that you stay, protected and in all the business relationships and deals that you sign. That's huge. I mean, you need someone on that team. And, I'm sure you've heard from your friends and I've heard, it's just like, fortunately, there's a lot of shitty managers out there too that I guess you've been fortunate that you've surrounded yourself with great people,
Good
and
people,
that's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm curious about, you're clearly a prolific songwriter, artist. I mean, not just on the songs that you write for others and the endless sessions you do, but like, I believe I counted that you release like almost 20 songs a year just under your own name. At least that's what's on Spotify.
Sick. I did not know
I
that.
know you have 60 tracks that you released since 2020.
So,
So like, is that your doing? Is that the label saying, you know what, to keep the Spotify algorithm rolling, like we got to be releasing every other month, so let's go on this? Or was that you and Joe be like, oh, like how do we tweak this? I'm curious, like that's a lot of music to put out under an artist's name. And so what is the strategy behind that?
definitely Joe and I, our goal ever since we like started was like, let's just fucking be as consistent as we can and put out as much music as possible. And
Yeah.
luckily the label is also down for that.
Cool.
So yeah, like we did my album Lady Jesus, which was 10 songs, and then we did a live album, which I think was like 15 or 16 songs, which were all already released, obviously, but those added to that, just like kept the ball moving, I guess, or the ball rolling.
Yeah.
And then I mean, because I am in sessions like literally every day, sometimes 2 a day, there's a lot of songs that never see the light of day.
Yeah.
So it's always like, if I'm like, oh, I want to put out a song every 6 weeks, it's easy. We have a whole like Dropbox folder to pull from, which is great.
Cool.
And so I think, yeah, for me, it's just like when I'm writing so much and I'm feeling inspired, is the goal is to just put out as much music as possible. And that's like my goal for this year, definitely, is like
Cool.
putting out as many singles as I can. Yeah.
Cool. And you have a bunch of remixes. Like at what point do you decide that you want to have somebody remix the song and actually officially release it?
I think that just depends on like the nature of the song. Like I did a lot of remixes for my song Into My Body, which is very like dancey, housey, whatever. So it just kind of naturally felt like we should do that. And like doing features has been really fun, and like doing features with artists that maybe aren't in the same world as me has been really cool, because it's like opened up a whole new fan base to me, and like that's been really cool. And I think just trying to like dip my toe in as many kind of worlds as possible, because obviously I'm like an alt pop, whatever that fuck means now, I don't know, but like that's what I am. But it's cool to like venture off into other worlds and work with other artists and do collabs or whatever. It's been really fun.
Yeah, the feature like you did with Gayle and Blu DeTiger, how did that come to be? And like Blu DeTiger, for those that don't know, I mean, she's this dope bass player who kind of like really broke out kind of over the pandemic on TikTok and Instagram just by shredding the bass, because she's so talented. And now she's got a whole artist project. And Gayle, of course, broke out with her song ABCDEFU. So tell me about that, how that collaboration came to be in that feature.
That was just, I mean, like the three of us have always just been fans of each other. So we're just like always like sliding into each other's DMs being like, yes, babe, like fuck up. And so when Gayle was going to put out, I think that song was already out. Easy was already out, and then she wanted to do like a remix of it. And because we all just are very much in the same kind of world, and we're like friends from social media, and we had done a few sessions together. Actually, I had worked with Blu and Gayle like separately in sessions before, and like Blu had played bass on a couple of my songs that I had put out. So like we all were kind of already collabing, and it was like, let's all just like do this little trio together. It'd be fun. So that was all Gayle's doing. And that was like so fun. Filming like the music video was just like in this backyard, just hanging out all day. It was really cool. It was a fun process.
Cool. The power of the DM and social media friends. It's crazy.
Yeah, truly. It's crazy.
I just heard, I was talking to my friend Victoria Canal, and she was on the show as well. And she just got the Hozier tour. She's the direct support for Hozier. And I was like, how did this happen? She's like, I saw he started following me. I just literally DM'd it, was like, hey, if you ever need support. He's like, actually, I do. And
That's
boom, it
crazy,
happened.
dude. That's how
So
it
it's
like
like, yeah.
always happens. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so crazy.
So, yeah. Nice. And let me see. Okay. So here's something that I'm curious about when we kind of get into the touring side of everything and the economics. So I see that you have VIP meet and greets for most of the shows. Did you do that for the last run as well?
I did, yeah. On
So
my
talk to me
headlining tour.
about the kind of how those work and just kind of the philosophy behind doing them and yeah, just how this VIP process goes.
Genuinely, it funds the tour. And
Mm,
so being yeah, it funds like most of the tour, which is
wow.
amazing. And it just creates a really fun the way we run like my VIP or meet and greet or whatever you want to call it is like very small, like max 50 people. And we're just like hanging out for an hour and like get to like actually spend time like it's not like the reason we cap it is so that I can actually talk and like hang out with people.
Yeah.
So it just like makes it a fun for me at least. I feel like the people who come to the meet and greet at the beginning, like they're there early, we're hanging out. I do a little like acoustic set. We'll sing together, sometimes ask questions, get pictures, do the thing. And then it's like, then at the show, that's normally like the front couple rows are like those
Sure.
people who I
Yeah.
already have been hanging out with for the past like hour or whatever.
Cool.
So it just creates a fun, and there's always like a ridiculously cheesy speech I give of like, you guys are here, you set the vibes for everyone else coming, like make sure everyone is making friends, we're taking care of each other. And so it's just this like cute core group of people that set the fucking vibes for the night. And like, yeah, it's really fun. I think that's
Nice.
like one of my favorite parts of the tour is like getting to, because you know when I'm like opening, I go and hang out at merch after my set and like meet people, and that's always so chaotic, and you're like
Yeah.
screaming, talking over the noise, and like the VIP thing is just so intimate and just
Mm.
chill, which is really really cool.
Nice. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
And I saw just most of the tickets are like about 3 times more than the face general admission ticket,
Yeah.
right? Something like that.
I think
Yeah.
I think it
So it's like,
depends on the show. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, most of the shows are like $18, $20, something like that. And most of the VIP tickets are like 60 something or something like that.
Mm.
But that's great to hear that it funds the tour. And I think that's really important for a lot of artists out there to hear that, because I think there's healthy ways of doing this. And then there's ways that don't feel necessarily as valuable or in a way that maybe as community oriented as you've made it. And I think the artists that are doing it really well are doing it like how you're doing it, where it's a hang, it's an acoustic performance, it's like that intimacy. It's not get in line, 30-second photo op, next kind of a thing.
That's why I know like most artists have like we have such a thing against like why would people pay to say hello to me? Like that's absolutely fucking insane, which I agree. But when if you can make it more of an experience rather than like hi photo bye, like
Right.
making it a like we're like hanging out, this is like another added thing to the show, like that to me makes it more like worth it for me and like makes me feel better about the situation. When it is such a financial help on the tour,
Yeah.
being like still a very low mid artist.
Sure.
So yeah, it definitely helps, but trying to make it as much of a like joined experience and like people make friends through it, like I try to make it as much of an experience as possible. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, everyone listening to this, go grab a ticket to UPSAHL's new tour coming up. This has been great. Thank you for being so candid and just going in with me on all these issues and sides of it. Well, I have one final question that I ask everyone who comes on the show. What does it mean to you to make it in the new music business?
That's the real question. I saw that was going to be asked right before this, and I was like, ooh, what does that mean? I honestly think what it means to me, and there's always a part of me that's like chasing like a Grammy or chasing like selling out MSG or whatever. But I think to me, making it in the new music business is me getting to make music for a living every day. And I've gone to do that for the past 5 years. And if I can be doing that 5 years from now, hopefully on a bit of a bigger level,
Sure.
that to me, like, I feel like I haven't made it, but like I have. Like in my soul, I feel like getting to do this is my job. Like we've made it, you know?
UPSAHL. That was great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Seriously, this is so fun.
Yeah.
This is so
Today's episode was edited by Maxton Hunter, theme music by Grassroots District, and produced by all the great people at Arista.